You know, when you stand on top of something tall, you're traditionally supposed to say, I can see my house from here. Except I'm really only about a foot off the ground, so all I see is mushrooms. Welcome back to Let's Clean PowerWash Simulator. I'm BurningDogFace, and we're here atop Caterpillar's mushroom, wait for it, in the mushroom forest. We, gotta scrub off the top just like we scrubbed off the bottom. And, well, we gotta make sure we don't miss any spots is the thing. Probably gonna be some bits along the edge. Shout out to Yornik, who says, on the subject of the forest, given how many shrooms are here, I'm legit surprised you haven't said, there is fungus among us, even once. Your willpower is strong, my man. Oh, and shout out to Elthwar, who says on the subject of me desperately struggling not to dissociate, power washing is a very meditative game. I do like that. I wonder if you could achieve Zen by playing this game. That would be the funniest thing in the world. Elthwar continues, but the Splatoon idea would work well, just having Dr. Powerwash come in between rounds of Splatfest. After all, someone has to reset the maps between rounds of the cake versus ice cream match. Actual teams for one Splatfest and Splatoon 2. I've heard of those. Or every once in a while they would just declare what the hell was that? Just declare a Splatfest going. There we go. And it's just, here are two concepts. We have assigned the two concepts to the two teams in-game. If you want to support the team of your preference, play a bunch of games on that team, and the team that has the most wins at the end of the festival is the winner! And I will now freely admit that the only reason I know about that, again, having never played any of those games myself, is that one of the Splatfests they did at some point was based on Transformers, one of my favorite franchises. One team was Autobots, one team was Decepticons. Though I think the Decepticons won in the end, sadly. If I remember correctly, when discussing Splatfest, one of the hosts mentioned that freedom is the right of all sentient beings, and the other one said that sounded lame, and then screamed, all hail Megatron. I don't know why I'm surprised that the top of the mushroom is in several different colors, too. What do we got here? We got dark pink, light pink, yellow. Oh, I see, it's like orange over here. And this is yellow. Oh, and purple at the core of it all. Which is weird because the core isn't at the top. It's like a big knotted spiral. Wait. God damn it. It's not a loop. It's a spiral! I've been daydreaming since I finished Alan Wake 2 of the concept of a fan game for that franchise. Given that it all focuses on Alan Wake, the only way I could think of to make it work would be to center the story around an alternate universe Alan Wake that could be played by someone that you could get your hands on. As opposed to professional actor Matthew Peretta and the likeness rights of Ilka Vili. I like that because of multiverse movies and stuff, that's just become part of the multiverse nonsense in fiction, that there are just some universes where everyone is the same, they're just played by different people. As opposed to, a jillion different versions of the same person. Well, accepting, of course, the inevitable universe that's exactly the same as the main one, except that every person in it is the opposite gender. I haven't seen one of those stories in like 10, 15 years, which makes me wonder how those particular stories handle, like, non-binary people. Maybe their alternate universe counterparts are extra binary. I don't even know what that means. Oh, no, wait, that would just be mirror universe, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're not all evil twins, certainly. Although thinking again about Transformers, I did really like the way they handled their particular mirror universe, which they called Shattered Glass. In which it's not just everyone who was good is evil, and everyone who was evil is good. It's everyone's personalities are exactly the opposite of what they are in the main universe. So Starscream is loyal to a fault. If anyone says anything that he even thinks is insubordination to the noble Megatron, he'll pull his weapons and defend his leader's honor. Starscream, you need to calm down. They're not, planning a mutiny. They're just complaining about the rations or whatever. Well, I guess robots don't have rations, but you know what I mean. Personal favorite, though, they took Soundwave, the cassette guy, or the cassette player guy, who, in the canon, deleted all his emotions to make his brain run faster, and that's why he's fairly monosyllabic and absolutely dead monotone. So naturally, his alternate universe counterpart expanded his repertoire of emotions and never shuts up. Also, he's a DJ for some insane reason. I do have to admit, I did really, really like him starting his set with, "I have no mouth, but I must rock!" Honestly, thinking about why some Transformers don't have mouths just led me to wonder why some of them do. It's not like they eat anything, and I don't think they consume energon orally. Although I have seen it depicted that way. Sometimes it's depicted as like a soft drink can. But that's usually in the more comedic depictions, so... Absolutely nothing on top of this mushroom is straight, obviously. So I'm getting some really weird angles as I tried to do the usual back and forth thing. And it is leaving little bits and pieces kind of everywhere. Oh no. It's so close to the shade of the yellow. How am I ever going to see the little spots in this one? Well, that helps. Those are more obvious, but... Was that one? Yes. What? Oh. Oh, I think that's just an art error. There's a little bit of purple leaking out from this purple segment onto this yellow segment. I just assumed that was dirt. Do you think the water is sending all this dirt to a pocket universe somewhere? The sound of your work is so soothing. Says Caterpillar. I'm not just doing that voice. I am feeling altogether more myself again. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone had a cocoon in which to pop whenever the world got a little too much? Agreed, actually. I'm sure dear Alice could do with one about now. I wonder where she's got to. And there it goes. You know, I've always thought it was funny the way a bunch of like really old books and such end just really, really abruptly, or with like no proper plot structure, is what I'm trying to say. Like, well, Alice in Wonderland. I'm pretty sure the story just ends with Alice eventually getting so overwhelmed and worked up by the ridiculous world she finds herself trapped in that she breaks down crying, basically has a tantrum, and wakes up from her nap to discover it was all a dream. But there's no, like, proper ending, you know? It's not like it's not like the end of an isekai story where she has to find the way home. She just kind of wakes up. I'm also thinking about H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, or if you've ever actually read that, there's no real plot to it. It's just a bunch of stuff that happens, and the guy is reporting on it all, which kind of makes it seem like an actual journal, which is interesting. Like, the framing device is this guy telling all these stories to his friend after returning from the future. And then he, at the end of the story, the friend goes inside to get them a drink or something, and when he hears a strange noise and comes back out, the time machine is gone, and he mentions that he never saw the guy again, and hopes that wherever he ended up, he found happiness. And I'm rambling about all kinds of things today. I suppose better that than just staring off into space and playing on automatic. Oh boy. Let's get the whole edge, sure. Tum-ta-tum. Piss. Seemed more dangerous than I wanted it to be. Oh dear, I've sprayed the thing. Or maybe that was when I was trying to get it earlier. Oops. Just hew rather closely to these objects. See, right there, I stepped down, and it made the reticle dip a bit. Probably still not as bad as the, all the little details on the... Oh, it wasn't a knight, it was, a centurion? Or maybe it was a knight. The big mech thing I cleaned off at one point in the Warhammer section. That required me climbing all over it. No, not the Dreadnought, the other one. The one that wasn't a person. Oh dear. Excellent. Oh, there was a thing I wanted to mention, wasn't there? Ah! Shout out to Justin Jones, who says, I wonder how many different DLC levels the developer plans on adding to the game. I don't know the answer to that question, but I feel like it's a lot, because at the beginning of this year, the developer put this image up on Steam, Roadmap 2024, starting with the Warhammer 40,000 pack, and then suggesting that in addition to that one, there would be 2 more paid DLCs this year. I guess Alice's Adventures is the second one. It also has boxes for 3 free seasonal DLCs, and 2 for free content. Maybe they're adding a bunch of skins or PowerWash models to the store or something. And 1 final box up in the upper right that says Game News. I don't know what that means. Maybe they're announcing a sequel later or something. I should note, for Justin's sake, none of these things on the roadmap have actual dates on them, or any details other than the Warhammer one up in the corner. Like they would have posted this back in January. So, no details, but it does seem like they have a lot of plans. Yes, that was not a sponsored message. I know that it had a bunch of branding in that image, but, well, let me put it this way. If it was a sponsored message, I would probably have remembered what the name of the developer was, and not needed to look up just now that it was, in fact, Future Labs. Without the E and no space. Oh, there's an example of synergy. PowerWash Simulator could do a crossover with Surgeon Simulator. Although if the Warhammer people weren't allowed to use blood, I bet no one is allowed to use blood. I suppose even the appearance of blood in a game would affect its rating, though, so maybe it's that kind of thing. Actually, I don't know how that works. I have no idea whether they adjust the rating of a game for the DLCs, or like if the DLCs are forbidden from having more, more mature content in them than sorry, they make a PG game. What am I trying to say? Yes, that they wouldn't be allowed to because the original game didn't have a higher rating. Oh dear. Oh, wow. That looks great, frankly. Good. Oh. Oh, that spot is on my monitor. That's very funny. All right. Looks like it's not quite a spiral. They're just all wiggly together. 90% clean. Not bad. I'm BurningDogFace, and tune in next time when I clean off these objects, hit the cocoon, make sure we're not missing any huge bits, and then clean off the shrine to finish things off. Till then, have yourselves a great day, Burning Dog fans. Later.